Hey guys, how are you? So a really big topic recently on the web is SEO for Amazon. And the reason this is a huge topic is that a lot of online marketers and a lot of people have realized, oh my God, I can make my own products and sell them on Amazon,
This video is brought to you by EpiPie's Academy.
right? I mean, probably if you're watching this video, this might be something that you're currently going through. So ranking in Amazon has become really important. So in this video, I'm going to explain how to do it. Okay. So I'll give like a really basic search kind of concept, and then I'll get into some things you might not know. Probably you don't know. Some advanced stuff. So first is first, keywords, right? It's a search engine. You got to make sure that your listing has the right keywords for you. So like like one of my books is like a book on starting a business. You go from business ideas to starting a business, right? So my main keywords are business ideas, start a business, right? Those are relatively competitive for books. Not too competitive, but competitive enough that it's hard. So you got to pick a niche where you know you're going to be able to compete with the marketing resources that you have. Okay, and I'll tell you how to rank higher later in the video, because this is really the key to this video. But first is the keywords, because if you don't choose the keywords, you can't rank for anything, right? Because you didn't choose the keywords you want to rank for. So this is monumental. Now, and of course, different product categories have different sort of experiences. Like books have extra categories within them, like fiction, nonfiction. Even within business, there's marketing, there's real estate. So fiction, right? So listing your book in the right category is also very important. Okay, so really that's all I want to do for basics, because really this is not about the basics. This is really about getting your thing to rank. So the main thing that you have to understand is that even though you don't know how many people went to the Amazon listing page of your product, Amazon knows this. And this is people who they sent there, right? So what's really important is that if they make a sale, good. If your page doesn't convert, if there's no sale, bad. So you don't know the conversion rate because they don't tell you these metrics. But they certainly know, and they want to make sure that the items that have higher conversion rates are better, right? They rank higher, because then Amazon doesn't lose money from people going on the landing page and not buying. What they want is maximize the people going to the landing page and buying. And you got to optimize your landing pages. What does that mean? Beautiful cover, beautiful photos of your product. If it's a product, you can have multiple photos. If it's a book, beautiful cover. Cover is such a big part of it, precisely because it's the only visual thing that there is for you. So that's one thing. Really good reviews, right? Social proof. People have to write like, "Oh my God, this is a great book," blah 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 blah. So you got to get reviews somehow, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. You have to have a good title that's interesting for people, that get them excited. And description has to build trust, and by the time they get through the description, they have to be interested in the thing, right? And this is all just to increase the percentage of people who land on the page, your product page, and buy. When that percentage of people is higher than the competitors, the items that appear higher in the searches, then your book will have a very high chance of jumping over those guys, right? And by the way, and this is a good segue, because there will be a higher conversion rate for your product, that means there will be also more sales. And sales is really another very, very, very strong ranking factor in Amazon. Of course, because they get a cut of every sale. That's how they make money, right? This is the entire purpose of them existing in business. So now you see the two huge ranking factors. One, obscure, the conversion rate. We don't necessarily think about it, its importance. But the other one is obvious, right? Sales. And so what you got to do is not just rely on Amazon to sell your product, but promote it from other channels. Because if you can raise the rate of purchases on your product, it's going to propel that product higher in Amazon search results, which is going to get you more of the natural organic Amazon traffic. Okay, So squeeze all the effort out of you to sell that product. Okay. So the other thing is reviews. Reviews are really good, and they actually help your rankings at times. And not just directly, but also indirectly, because when people see that you have good reviews, they're more likely to buy. And because they're more likely to buy, it raises your conversion rate, which means you get more sales, which means you rank higher. It all works together. It's like a beautiful thing. If it works right. If it works the other way, like if you get bad reviews, then it works all that negatively in a bad way. So that's one thing that you got to do. Well, those are the few things you got to do. But those are huge, right? And one thing I want to mention about search engines that I didn't mention in the beginning is they all of them, if it's eBay, if it's Amazon, if it's Google, if it's YouTube, it's whatever, they care about these things. They call them, I think they call them that too, social signals and engagement signals. Now, social signals are like, exactly, are people giving the good reviews, right? Engagement signals are like, are they actually buying the thing, So in Amazon, the reviews, the social engagement signals aren't as prevalent as in other things, like in apps, for example. You can engage with the app, but that's not something Amazon can track with a book or a physical product that they ship, right? So they have a little bit less of that. So they have to go more on keywords, sales, and reviews. So this is huge. There's other things, like for example, I found if I drove just more people from my own channels, from my own marketing channels, when I drove more people, even people who didn't buy, but when I drove more people to the sales page, for some reason that helped me rank a little higher. And I can't confirm this. I can't ask Amazon, does this help? But it seemed to have helped. So it's like it's an unconfirmed thing that I observed in my own practice that it helped rankings. Now it's a little also strange because if a lot of people come to your page and they don't buy, it decreases your conversion rate. So I don't know, I think they probably make a distinction between people who come from search, right? Because then all the products that Amazon shows, they're sort of like competing equally. Whereas if you send people from your own resources, then that they may not factor that into your conversion rate in the way. So it gets complicated. Another thing that people have mentioned to me a lot, and again, I can't confirm this, but this is something that a lot of people talk about, is actually creating links from other sites, just like doing regular SEO, creating links to Amazon listing pages, to your Amazon listing page. So good links can help your ranking, which is great because, that's what you want. So try linking to your product pages, try selling your product pages, try sharing your product pages on SEO, on social media. I'm sorry, that's one thing I didn't mention is share your product pages on SEO. Share your product pages on social media, okay? Because that also helps. And they don't tell you this, but I'm pretty sure that any search engine worth their own salt will take social media into account now. So those few things, right? Your listing, your conversion rate, driving views of your listing page, driving sales, all that will help you rise over time as long as those are better than the competitors, it will help you rise in search rankings of Amazon. And Amazon is the #1 store in the world, or at least in the English-speaking world, right? Which